Yes, guys, yes. Um, I just saw a video by Ollie Mathews. I'm gonna put it in the title. Where is it? Where is it? Um, just a couple minutes ago. It is called "Don't Allow Guilt to Take Over When the Narcissist is Dying." Yes, this pertains to me. Yes. Um, so I've only briefly talked about it. My father's 95. Uh, his birth certificate says 98, but he's technically 95 apparently. Because in the Holocaust, he had to lie about his age because that's what his uncle told him to do. These are little snippets of information that have gotten from my father. And so my mother died in 2014 on April 13th. Just as I was planning to move to California, and of course I moved there. When my father had kept my mother in isolation for the past 40 somewhat years, close to 50, 40 somewhat years. Like a doll, you know. First he physically abused her, and she had no strength to leave, and of course I was violent, because that's all I learned, because until I finally got out of there. But going to now, I would never hear from my father since I left at 27. I left late because before that I was like, fuck you, I'm staying and making your life just as miserable as me, because I started working out and yeah. So I would never hear from my father until, unless it was through a social worker. Just before my mother died, I heard from a social worker that both my parents were in the hospital. And when I went to visit them, my father's hip was sore. And I don't know what my mother was, but my father was crying. It was a sad situation. And then, of course, he's like, okay, take care of this stuff, take care of the home, whatever. And then once he got out, he was like, get the fuck out. You're not taking my money, you're not taking this, you're not taking that. So it's like, okay, so then I left. I moved to California. No, I moved out, that was a couple years later. I moved to California after my mother died. I didn't stay long, but yeah. So now, this is last year. My father, I got a call from the social worker, another social worker. Actually, see, when I was in California, I mentioned briefly that I was struggling financially because I'm Canadian living in California, and I couldn't make any money, So yeah, my father had put some money in my account, a significant amount, so that kind of allowed me to pay some of my debt and live and figure out what to do. This was in 2014, so we're going on 2 years. And the thing is, he wouldn't let me take care of stuff, power of attorney, which is critical. Even until then, he would just give little chunks. And it's like, because he would always entice me with money. He would buy me clothes when I was young. He would do everything for me. And then when I left, I would only come home when I would get bus pass money. Other than that, I wouldn't go home. I don't love the guy, so it's not a... So that's how we would do it. That's the dynamic, right? And that's the dynamic how he lives. And so, come last year, December 2015, so going almost a year, another social worker calls me that he's in the hospital and that he had sold his house and they were putting a block on it because they thought he had dementia and all that. So I came back and all that stuff, and they were doing tests on him, which I later found out, the whole sale went through anyways. They said he was okay, and the house was sold, and he had convinced the real estate agent that I shouldn't be involved, so I told the real estate agent off, and I know he got the money in his account because I saw my father's bank books afterwards when my father was nice, because of course he's nice. He's got nobody to take care of him. He's in the home now. I managed to get him in the home. He has his funeral paid for. He did that with the other social worker. All that's taken care of, but I still don't have power of attorney. The last time I got him out was to the bank, was to be able to get checks, and I managed to get the payment of the home that I brought him to, which was a suggestion of the social workers, get that covered with prepaid checks. And in the meantime, I managed to get enough money out from one account to be able to put in mutual funds that will pay for the rest of my condo. So that's about it. I mean, that's a good thing. I'm cutting my losses. There's another account that I can't take care of, and there's my mother's former account, which I went in Ontario, and I can't take care of any of that stuff. It's just paper money anyways. You can get really crazy in the money thing, and it's not about that. I have enough. It's about me working for my life, and it's significant, but it's whatever. Basically saying I can't get power of attorney because I got to see the medical documents, and he wasn't sane to sell the house. But now that I have no contact with the social worker, I get a couple of calls from resident doctors saying he's in the hospital and he has pain and what to do. And when I call, it's like not even the doctor. And I stopped calling the residential home because I had called for help for to have a doctor sign that I could actually get power of attorney, and I got no calls. It's a business, and people don't give a fuck. And I don't, it's like, this is like, I'm doing things out of guilt and necessity, and like, no one thinks anything differently, and they're gonna think what they want to think, and they want their life easy, meaning the social workers, the people of the residence, and all that stuff. They could go to fucking hell, right? And this kite can fucking drop dead. I mean, he made his bed, he should fucking lie in it. You get what you get, right? And if anything, the government will take care of him, and that's it. I have no legal power over his stuff. And after seeing Ollie Mathews' video, it was good that other people have lived that way, lived through it, and it's to tell other people, don't feel guilty into doing something. And money is money, it is what it is. Cut your losses. And yeah, that's about it. And if he dies, I have a copy of his will that he gave me. If it's legit, then we'll deal with things. If not, then cut my losses. I got what I could. I helped as much as I could, and that's way more than needed to be done. Actually, now to think of it, what I got was enough for, it's for my time due. But I'm still doing my time working on myself, and that's what's the most important thing, that you work on yourself. Yeah. Talk to you later.